Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Terry Gallagher, and welcome back to Come and See. This is episode 2, and in episode 2, we're going to focus on wind, specifically wind turbines on land. Let's start a little scripture. In fact, we're going to go right to the start of the Bible, Genesis 1, and listen to the poet describe how God made creation. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and the darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. God, pictured as wind, at loose in the world. Let's take a moment, though, to talk about why we're doing this. We have this image in our head that the earth is so big that human beings can't possibly hurt it. But scientists tell us that, in fact, the earth is small, it's fragile. In fact, if you look at the globe, and you use the globe as a model for the earth, the biosphere, the portion of the earth that makes life possible, the soil, the water, the air, is such a thin layer, it's like saran wrap on a globe. And that's what we're destroying with our pollution. Saran wrap. That's how fragile we are. But you know, going back to that reading from Genesis, it was written in Hebrew. And the Hebrew word for wind is also the same word for breath and for spirit. And so, evoking that image, that wind, the power to generate, is also what we breathe. And it's the Spirit of God at work in the world. No wonder we're kicking off our episodes of looking at technology with looking at wind. You and I know that humans have been harnessing the wind for eons. You know, we've used it to power windmills, to pump out dikes in Holland, or to go after deep well water in Texas. We've used it on boats to power them across seas. We use them as sails. We've used them as balloons to ride across the land. But what's really amazing is in the last couple of decades, we have gone after generating electricity by wind with marvelous new technology that keeps improving and growing all the time. Right now, there's over 300,000 wind turbines across the globe. And as we keep improving the technology of how high they can be and the efficiency of the wind blades themselves to harvest the wind, well, we've doubled the places on the earth where you can effectively use wind energy just by our changes in design. Wind energy right now has the ability to power 40 times more than what we need in total electricity if we were to go after it fully. In fact, in the USA, 3 states alone have enough wind capacity potential, if we put wind farms there, Kansas, North Dakota, and Texas, to meet all of the electricity needs in the United States. And there's another benefit. You can get dual use out of the land because wind turbines have a very small footprint. And so if you ever go past a wind farm, farm's a good word for it because they can grow crops right on the same land, or they can have herds on the same land with the wind turbines. Yeah, I know there's the argument that, well, the wind doesn't always blow. Well, maybe it doesn't always blow in the same place, although in Chicago, we think it blows a lot. Right? But it means that we have to be smart about it. We have to be intelligent about it. We have to build wind turbines that are connected to power networks because the wind is always blowing someplace, right? And then we offset it with solar because when the wind isn't blowing, the sun is shining. And then we need advances in battery storage and other ways to store power, of course. But that's coming. That's new technology. There's also objections that we make because of noise and of birds and of aesthetics. I've been by wind farms, and I have to tell you, I don't notice the noise. And I think that's a lot of hype that's exasperated by fossil fuels who want to keep us from going that way. Check me out. Go by a wind turbine and let me know if that disturbs your peace. I don't think it does. Now, birds. All right, way down on the list of things that kill birds, you'll find wind turbines. Way up there, you'll find cats and skyscrapers and plate glass windows. But still, even with that, we can be smart and eliminate a lot of the problem of killing birds simply by where we put the wind farms. All right? Don't put them in a migratory path. Really, yeah? Probably the biggest objection, though, is our human reluctance to embrace change. We just don't like change. So if we see something new, we don't like it. We object to it. It's not aesthetically pleasing. A lot of it's in what we get used to it. We're used to smokestacks. We're used to power lines. We're used to pipelines. You tell me those are aesthetically pleasing? No. It's what we get used to and what we accept as necessary to life. So we can be smarter about how we place it, and we'll get better at how we design them. But man, we're there. Wind right now is an effective generator of electricity across the globe at a very cheap price. Let's look at some numbers. Human civilization last year put 36 gigatons of carbon pollution into our atmosphere. We're doing the same thing this year. 36 gigatons. What's a gigaton? Picture Olympic-sized swimming pools. Now picture 14.5 million of them. That's how much pollution. 14.5 million Olympic-sized pollution. We can't keep going that way. If we go to our resource, our technical resource, draw down the most comprehensive plan ever proposed, the numbers are amazing, right? They rank wind turbines on land as the number 2 solution to our global pollution problem. Number 2. Why? Because if we fully implement land-based wind turbines, we'll reduce nearly 85 gigatons of carbon pollution. 85. Now there's a cost to it. There's no doubt there's a cost to it. You can't build all that without some cost. The cost is $1.23 trillion, $1.25 trillion. Big money, yeah? But here's the thing. There's a savings to it. $1.25 trillion invested, $7.5 trillion is the savings. 7.5. That's quite a return on investment. Let's do the math. It's about 5-fold. We're always going to object to change. Some people will object just because they're uncomfortable with change. Some people will object because they're making a lot of money the way the existing system is. And so coal companies, oil companies, gas companies are going to object, and they're going to make commercials that try and dissuade us. But here's the thing. After the final no comes a yes. And on that yes, the future of the world depends. Those are wise words by Wallace Stevens. After the final no comes a yes. And we have to keep working for that yes. The old Hebrew word for wind is the same thing as breath, which is essential to life. And God's Spirit was essential for us to prepare for the future so that all our children can live. That's it for this week. Next time on Come and See, we're going to focus on food, because what we eat is what we are. And what we eat has a tremendous effect on the pollution we put out. So take care, spread the word, go tell a friend. Come and see what it means when science and faith combines to have a solution.